The morning of Mr. Lewis's trial, you and your friends travel to the courthouse in low spirits. Back yourselves into the courtroom, clocking plenty of Beechwood students and a few prominent members of the PTA. The whole town is out for blood. Yeah, and we're the ones who caused the feeding frenzy. Not technically. I really hope Blake's testimony helps Mr. Lewis. Glance over at Donovan, who's tapping his foot restlessly. His face is practically unreadable. You give him his hand a gentle squeeze, which he gratefully returns. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. No one would blame you for not wanting to be here. I know, but I need to face the consequences of what we did. Donovan, we had good intentions. He stares at you in total disbelief. Yeah, and our good intentions led us straight to hell. Well, as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I know it's bad, but we thought he hurt Gabby. I don't want to hear you try and justify this, Blake. We did something bad, period. Your gaze falls on Joanna, who's still sitting at the back of the courtroom, looking pale-faced and miserable. I just hope we get a Hail Mary out of all this. A hush falls over the courtroom, and you all hasten to your feet as the judge enters. Mr. Lewis is led in moments later in handcuffs. Good morning. Calling the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus Lewis. As the judge leads the courtroom proceedings, you steal a glance at Mr. Lewis, staring silently straight ahead. The Commonwealth calls Elizabeth Evans, principal of Beechwood High School. Principal Evans shuffles to the witness stand, shifting uncomfortably under the harsh gaze of the district attorney. Your stomach sinks when she holds up her first piece of evidence, the letter from Gabby you found. The letter was deposited in your professional mailbox. Could you please describe the contents of the letter to the court? It's a letter from our late student, Gabby Navarro, to Mr. Lewis. She wrote that she loved him and that they had plans to elope. How would you describe the defendant's behavior during his time teaching at your school? He was friendly, pleasant. The students loved him because he was able to relate to them in a way many teachers can't. And this put him in a unique position to take advantage of his students, wouldn't you say? Objection. Leading the witness. Sustain. The DA is brutal. For real. I'm glad you're taking the stand and not me. Not helping. As if she heard you, the DA dismisses Principal Evans and calls you to the stand. Your legs feel leadened as they carry you to the front of the courtroom. State your name for the record. Blakestone. Olivia Blakestone. Is it true that you were the student who I deposited Gabby's letter into the principal's mailbox? Also, there was no cross-examination, really, for the principal? You fight the urge to grimace as a ripple of whispers travels through the courtroom. That is correct, yes. However, it was a mistake I'll regret forever. When I found the note, I thought it was solid proof of an affair. But if you read it carefully, you'll notice it doesn't actually say that Mr. Lewis was the one Gabby was planning to elope with. I realize now that I was wrong. When I visited Mr. Lewis in the detention center... You, a student, visited your adult teacher in jail? Objection. Your head swims, your thoughts blurring as the DA and defense attorney have a heated argument. You barely hear the judge when he dismisses you. That was a disaster. Stevie pats you on the shoulder lightly as you hang your head, breathing deeply, and then... The Commonwealth calls Joanna Morgan to the stand. You sit up quickly that you feel a sharp pain shoot through your neck. Sure enough, she marches to the witness stand, her head held high. No way. Mr. Lewis follows Joanna with his gaze, his jaw sets and his eyes widen. She doesn't so much as glance at him, or anyone, as she states her name. Now, Miss Morgan, is it true that the defendant asked you to keep quiet about his affair with Gabby Navarro? The courtroom is deadly silent as Joanna considers the question, measuring her response. Actually, no. It was the other way around. Your pulse goes into a frenzy at her words. Mr. Lewis's shoulders tighten and Joanna's eyes fill with tears. The other way around? Mr. Lewis is innocent. He wasn't having an affair with Gabby. I was. Murder at Homecoming. Chapter 11, Run, Rabbit, Run! The next few days are a whirlwind. Her testimony led to Mr. Lewis being clear, but the case was officially opened into Gabby's death, and with that, Beechwood's false sense of security shattered. After brunch at Donovan's house, you, Stevie, and Tyler are sitting in the living room with him and his parents. I can't believe Gabby's killer is still out there. Not for long. I just know they'll catch the bastard soon. I'm really sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Navarro. You went through the trauma of an arrest and a trial for nothing. Just know that I won't let the case go cold. Neither will we. We can't let that creep walk the streets. Especially when they might hurt another kid. We appreciate all the trouble your kids have gone through, but your kids, you should be out enjoying your life. Yeah, but is Gabby? Too bad Beechwood cops are completely useless. You can't count on them to even do this bare minimum. He clenches his fist tight, and his mom passes a soothing hand over the top of his hair. I'm so sorry, mijo. I know we all wanted this to be the end. As a knock on the door draws your attention, Mr. Navarro leaves the living room to answer it and comes back with, Hi, I hope I'm not interrupting. She sags under the weight of a heavy-looking duffel bag. Her eyes are puffy and red. Joanna, is everything alright? Her lower lip trembles. She bursts into tears. Her duffel bag hits the floor with a thud, and Mrs. Navarro rushes over, embracing her and letting her cry against her shoulder. I'll fix you a plate of food, kiddo, and whenever you're ready, we'll talk. Most likely her family kicked her out because of the way she is. Once you're all settled in the kitchen, Joanna tells you the whole harrowing story. When my parents heard about me and Gabby, they were furious. There was so much screaming and they kicked me out. The cops have been grilling me ever since, and why I didn't come forward sooner. They've been acting like I was the one who hurt Gabby. I can't believe they put you through that. People really think both are tough. Parents will always support you, that is a lie. And cops are here to help victims. That's if you can find a good one. So, yeah. I knew my parents wouldn't support my so-called lifestyle, but I never imagined they'd kick me out. But hey, at least it's not a conversion camp, right? That's the bleakest silver lining I could imagine. This is true. Miss Navarro sighs deeply, her fingers laced tightly together under her chin. Well, it'll take a bit, but once Gabby's clothes are packed up in the attic, you can hang your stuff upstairs. There should still be shampoo and stuff in her bathroom. Hold on, I didn't come here expecting to let you stay with me. Or, you let me stay. Sorry, something in my eye. Anyway. Our daughter loved you, Joanna, and it seemed to me that you loved her too. Once again, her eyes fill with tears. I always will. Mr. and Mrs. Navarro share a smile, and Donovan surprises you by resting a hand on her shoulder. It's settled then. You're so kind, but don't worry about clearing out her closet. I didn't really manage to grab any clothes before I left. You don't have anything? Okay, we have to remedy that. Sounds like someone needs to go on a shopping spree, and I happily volunteer as tribute. Her expression brightens. I never actually bought clothes for myself before. It sounds nice. Diamond choice. Shopping. We'll talk at the end of this video. I've been in need of a good old-fashioned shopping montage. Montage? How many stores are you intending to take me to? Stevie's strong arms are out of the kitchen and towards the front door. Shh, have a little faith. You, Joanna, and Stevie soon arrive at one of the biggest malls in the state. You clap a bracing hand on her shoulder as she looks around wide-eyed. The world's your oyster. Where to first? I don't even know where to start. My mom always picked out clothes for me until I met Gabby. Well, that's what we're here for. We're giving you a total wardrobe refresh. Gonna study Stevie carefully for a moment, like she's looking for any shred of insincerity in her words, and finally, she smiles. I guess it wouldn't hurt to start with the basics. Gym clothes, pajamas, all that. Atta girl. We'll hit vintage marine first then. The three of you head to the famous department store, where she stocks up on a basket full of comfy essentials. As you leave the store, you can't help noticing she has a spring in her step you've never seen before. Wow, Joanna. I think you might be an extrovert. Wow, no one's ever accused me of that before. Accused? You make it sound like it's a bad thing. It's not, just not all of us can be one. That's not what I meant, sorry. It's just my parents always kept me on a short leash. You never had the chance to get to know yourself. Exactly. Maybe I've always been an extrovert and I just never knew. Her smile is tinged with a melancholy. You hesitate briefly and then touch her lightly on the shoulder. Joanna, if you want to talk... I'm fine, really. Let's keep going. I still need a few things. She hurries off towards the next shop. You and Stevie exchange a look. Guess we shouldn't push her. Well, she'll tell us in her own time. You make your way through a couple more shops, helping her pick out things. When she gets stuck. A little past noon, you take a break to grab lunch at the food court. How am I exhausted already? We've only been here for an hour. Oh, that's a lie. No, don't lie to me. There's no way you went in, like, a couple shops and it's only been an hour. No. Shopping can take a lot out of you, especially if you're an unseasoned rookie. Don't worry, we'll build up your endurance. Stevie is clearly a pro at this, but what about you, Blake? You don't really strike me as the mall rat type. You're not wrong. I came because I wanted to help you. I know we don't know each other well, but I think we should fix that. Besides, you're a good person, Joanna. Something tells me you'd do the same for me if I were in your shoes. That's very sweet, Blake, and I suppose you're right. We're connected now in a way. If you ever need a favor from me, don't hesitate to ask. You already did a pretty big favor for us in court. I don't think we'll cash in on another one for a while. Joanna ducks her head a little, wincing. Sorry. You came here to have fun, and I'm just bringing up bad memories. You're not doing anything wrong, Joanna, honestly. Yeah, we're friends now. Friends hear each other out, even when things aren't all sunshine and daisies. I mean, I meant what I said before. If you want to talk to us, we're here to listen. She pushes her food around on her plate silently for a long moment, and then, finally, she speaks up. This probably sounds messed up, but in a way I'm glad my parents kicked me out. It gives me an excuse not to see them ever again. Well, that doesn't sound messed up at all. Your parents clearly don't treat you well. I'm their only kid, and all they ever done is try and control me. That's why meeting Gabby was such a miracle. She always encouraged me to think for myself. She made me feel special. And even though I'm glad I finally escaped home and heard stuff, I didn't get to do it the way I planned with her. Stevie gently pats Joanna's shoulder, her expression soft. I can't imagine what you're going through. Me neither. But if it helps, you have a bright future ahead. I'm sure it sounds hokey, but you're young. You've got more good days ahead of you than bad days behind you. Plus, plenty of time to get to know yourself, figure out what you like. Getting away from your parents is a huge first step. If you need help mapping the rest of the road, you can count on us. I'm so glad I decided to take the stand. I mean, I never could have imagined this as the outcome, but I'm very grateful to you. Not just for taking me shopping, but for helping me realize important stuff. Anytime. Seriously. Plus, we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Follow me. Stevie stands up, shoves the last handful of remaining fries in her mouth, and starts walking off. She pauses expectantly when she realizes you aren't following. Well, Joanna's perfect everyday look isn't going to find itself. "15 minutes later, you and Stevie wait outside while Joanna tries on a pile of clothing Stevie picked out for her. This is nice of you, you know. Yeah, don't make it a whole thing. Reconnecting with you, I guess I'm willing to admit that it's changed me. And it's not as hard for me to be..." She makes a sweeping, non-committal gesture. Sweet, authentic. How about C, all the above? For the record, you've always been sweet. Lies and slender. Deny it all you want. I've seen your true heart, Stevie, son, and it is cute as a button. She shoves you lightly, letting loud, a brilliant laugh. I take everything back I said. Hanging out with you has completely destroyed my street cred. Truth is, though, I partially offered to help Joanna out because she reminds me a lot of myself, or like who I could have been. What do you mean? Our situations are different, but I know what it's like to feel like no one in the world has my back. I'm guessing I'm overcompensating a little, dragging her through the mall, spouting inspirational quotes. How dare. Nah, I wouldn't say that. You're being a good friend. I just hope Joanna finds a decent outfit out of all the clothes you piled on top of her. Trust me, I have a very, very good feeling about this. Just then, the curtain of the dressing room swings open and she emerges. It's perfect. What do you think? Nice. It's pretty. I like it. Damn, Joanna. You're looking like a new woman. She means that in the best way possible. Trust me, I know. I'm gonna call this my fresh start outfit. She admires herself in the full-length mirror for a moment, then claps her hands together and embraces you and Stevie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oof, you're very welcome. And very much cutting off my airflow. Laughing, the three of you head to the checkout counter before returning home. A few days later. You're on your bed after school, paging through some of the assigned reading, when your phone starts blowing up. Damn, the group chat is really busy tonight. You pick up your phone and scroll through the messages you missed. Hey, wanted to let you know my parents arranged a charity memorial walk in Gabby's honor. We're donating the funds to organizations that help local missing BIPOC women. I think that's a great cause. Victims of color get virtually no press or help from law enforcement. The Beechwood police are living proof that sometimes I think if Gabs were a white girl... Sorry, I guess that's not helpful thinking. Not like I haven't thought the same thing myself. The walk is this weekend at noon. A bunch of people have already signed up. Might be an opportunity to gather intel and find new suspects. You really have been spending too much time with us. Yeah, man. You sound like Blake. You say that like it's a bad thing. Oh my god, I didn't mean it like that. I know, I'm just giving you a hard time. And to be honest, you're not wrong. I never thought Donovan would be so... detectively. Yeah, well, your sister getting murdered kind of changes you as a person. This is also true. I know I was the last one to warm up to the idea of investigating, but I'm game to keep going if the rest of you are. I mean, of course I'm still game. Yeah. What is up with the spelling errors? Like, holy shit. Oh, God, help me. I think you all know where I'm at with this. Gabby was probably my best friend in the world. I owe this to her. I'm in, obviously. I'm never gonna give up on a case. And I'm not about to start now. Give it up, the genius formerly known as Valentine Stone. Did you ever doubt that Blake would stick with this until the very end? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't care about Gabby. We need to find her killer. And to do what we... do that, we need to plan. The day of her Gabby Navarro's memorial walk. There's a knock on your door, and you're getting ready to go. A moment later, Joanna pokes her head in, trailed by a certain nosy semioid. Basically a dog. Big fluff ball. Hey, Joanna. I thought we were meeting at the Navarro's today. Oh, we are. I just went out for a coffee run early this morning, and, well, to be honest, I got you a gift. Oh my god. Precious coffee. Hold on. Let me just... I just had to do that. She steps timidly into the room holding a bag from an expensive athleisure shop downtown. Did you buy me clothing? I wanted you to have the same... something nice for the charity walk. Something after... well, after you took me shopping. This might sound really strange, but Gabby always said special occasions deserve a shiny new outfit. The walk is a celebration of her, and I figured this was just another way to honor her. She shakes herself, looking sheepish. Puck butts his head comfortingly against her leg, sensing her nervousness. Am I completely overstepping here? Because if I am... It's okay, Joanna. I'd love to try on the outfit you brought. Diamond choice. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. This outfit does not look like a memorial walk, right? Like, I'm not saying dress in a suit and tie and, you know, all black and yes, I am with all black, but, you know, like, what? Look like I'm about to go running the, like, marathon or something, I don't know. Once you're all changed, you open the door to let Joanna back in. She beams when she sees you. You look amazing, Blake. Gabby would be so happy to see you step out in style. And you might just impress a certain someone today. You're more cunning than you give yourself credit for. Can you blame me for wanting to play matchmaker? Gabby was a total romantic, and this day is all about her. About that, Joanna, there's stuff I need to fill you in on the way to Donovan's place. En route to Navarro's house with Joanna and Puck, you tell her the plan to gather intel tonight. She's surprisingly on board with the idea, and when you arrive, you find the others already waiting. Look, we've got a whole Scooby in the gang. Literally, we have the dog now and everything. Like, let's go, fam. So, you ready for this? Yep, see, there's Scooby. You obviously are nice duds. There's Shaggy. Seriously, I don't think I even own matching gym clothes. Velma? And then I'm Daphne, of course. You know, right now I am ruining this for you, aren't I? I'll probably should go to Jana. She gave me the new clothes as a gift for the memorial walk. I just thought, given how fashion-forward Gabby was, this would be a good way to honor her. She'd have loved it. I just hope we get something concrete out of today's mission. Can we go over the plan again? Blake and I are gonna walk. I already signed us up and everything. While we're going, we're gonna keep our ears peeled for anything sus. Stevie, Joanna, and I will chill at the finish line and pretend like we're there to cheer Tyler and Blake on. Wait, why wouldn't you walk yourself? This sounds like such a weird plan. Like, Pixelberry's trying to force us to get with everybody this chapter. But the whole time we'll be doing a little eavesdropping of our own. It's all coming back to me. I promise to keep my ears peeled as best as I can. It's kind of a long shot, but if we're lucky, we might learn something damning about today's events. Just try to keep yourself safe. Solving Gabby's murder is obviously our priority, but I want you to promise me you'll passively observe today. That means no confronting anyone who says something that sets off alarm bells. Shoot Tyler and Stevie a look. I'll be on my best behavior. Oh, I hate not being able to tell people off. You and me both. The smart thing to do is just make note of who's being suspicious. Do you really think that Gabby's killer will show up to a charity walk? Killers tend to flock to these kinds of events. It's their way of immortalizing the murder, or even worse, reliving it. But that's exactly what will give us the chance to find the answers we need. When you arrive at the park, there are hundreds of people gathered for Gabby's memorial walk, many of whom you've never met. This is an amazing turnout. Honestly, I didn't know this many people knew Gabby, let alone cared about her. During events like this, there's people who typically will turn up to these things just to show support. It's very common, actually. Is it so surprising? Gabby was an amazing person. I seriously doubt everyone here is someone Gabby touched personally. Most of these people are total strangers. Well, people... They band together during tragedy, which is true, but then there's also, yes, people are nosy and opportunistic as well. Sorry, but it's just what I've seen. I bet money there's a bunch of true crime junkies here trying to experience the thing that they're so fascinated by. I wasn't gonna say it, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people came in from out of town. It's awful to think that Gabby's killer might be walking around here, chilling, like nothing happened. Yeah, well, they won't be walking around for long. Let's spread out and keep our ears open. This walk isn't starting for a few minutes, but someone might let something slip before then. Alright, Scooby, where is it? Where's Timmy in the well? You and Puck idly drift around the starting line while the rest of your friends fan out. You strain your ears to listen to people. So awful, what happened to that poor girl? I know. I think of my own nieces. Seriously sick what some of these people are capable of. I know, right? People used to say Beechwood was boring. It still is. You shut your eyes and lean back against a tree. You knew it was a reach, expecting to hear something so soon, but... Blake, you okay? You turn to see Claudia approaching cautiously. Her eyes are puffy, like she's been crying. I should be asking you that. I know today must be hard. Yeah, it's hard for all of us. I'm sorry, Claudia. I know everyone hoped we'd find the killer by now. All participants, please make your way to the starting line. That's your call. I'll, see you around. You don't get a chance to respond before she vanishes into the crowd. With a sigh, you join Tyler at the starting line just as Navarro step up to speak. We want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here to honor Gabby's memory and support this very important cause. It's through you that her memory will live on for years to come. Now, let the walk begin. Mew, Tyler, and Puck make your way down the path, flanked by dozens of supporters. You walk in silence for a little while, listening to the chatter of people around you. Is it just me, or people giving us a lot of space? You noticed it too. There's about 6 feet of space between you and the nearest person. Some of the others have been shooting you dirty looks and muttering things behind their hands. Yeah, people are definitely in no hurry to get close to us. They're probably intimidated. People around here already didn't trust me very much. I should have figured it would get worse after the trial. Damn, I wish people knew you like I did. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. Then they'd get to know you're trying to help everyone. It's not like you do stuff for kicks. Either way, it seems like we're not the most popular kids in Beechwood at the moment. Gee, I wonder why. Oh, eavesdropper. A girl you recognize from school shoulders past you aggressively, knocking you into Tyler. Puck raises his hackles. What the hell was that for? You know, Mr. Lewis probably won't ever come back to Beechwood High because you slipped this letter to the Principal Evans. Blake never meant for any of that to happen. Like, that's supposed to be an excuse? He was the best teacher we've ever had, and now he's gone. I'm sorry, but I can't... I can't fix it if you don't let me. I'll spend the rest of my life atoning if I have to, but I won't be able to do that if people like you get in my way. The girl's expression flickers for a moment. She looks a little sheepish. Well, fine. But I'll believe in your big change when I see it. You stones are as nosy as they come. You know, your sister was always messing with other people's lives, too. Your blood runs cold at the mention of her. You feel suddenly far away, hardly even able to hear Tyler's angry response or the voice echoing from the distance. That's enough, Braille! Blink hazily as April Morris comes jogging into view, scowling at the girl named Brielle. It clicks for you suddenly that she must be the one of April's friends. I know you like Mr. Lewis, but you're being so out of line right now. But Apes, even your brother said... Since when have we ever listened to Brett's, or trusted Brett's judgment? Bringing up Blake's sister was totally uncalled for. You owe her an apology. I don't need this. She storms off down the trail. April shoots you an apologetic look before hurrying after her friend. When she's gone, Tyler puts a hand on your shoulder. Blake, are you okay? I'm honestly... kind of in shock. I never talked to the girl in my life, and she came at me like I was her worst enemy. Pretty much. And unfortunately, people will use anything and everything that they can find out against you to fire in their first volley. Fortunately, this is a very real thing. I can't blame her for being pissed at us, but I didn't expect a personal attack like that. Is there anything I can do to help? You being here is all the help you can do, and believe me, it makes a difference. You and Tyler continue on down the path, but overhear nothing interesting or relevant to the case. You're just about to call it quits when you hear an angry, hushed voices coming from behind a tree. You can't just admit that you stole a syringe from my mini-fridge. I know it didn't sprout legs and walk away. I came here because Mom made me pick you up. Not so I could get lectured by a dumb kid. But Brett, you're on probation. If you relapse... Slam. You flinched at the unmistakable sound of Brett's fist hitting the tree. Meet me at the car in 5 minutes or I'm leaving your ass behind. Brett storms off in the opposite direction without even noticing you. You and Tyler edge around the side of the tree to find April rubbing her temples. Hey, April. Is everything okay at home? She laughs shakily, running her fingers restlessly through her hair. Honestly, it hasn't been okay since before Brett and Claudia broke up. Brett's a total nightmare these days. Not that I need to tell you that. But to top it all off, I think he's been... She shakes herself suddenly, like she can't believe what she's been saying. I have to go. Wait. But she's spreading off down the trail before the words can even leave Tyler's lips. Well, that was interesting. Seems Brett ruins everything he touches. Stunned, you turn towards the gazebo where the crowd is cheering the participants on. You shoulder your way past, meet halfway by Stevie, Donovan, and Joanna. We didn't hear anything useful on our end. What about the two of you? A lot of people talking about the trial and Brett being Brett. Hang on. You're not gonna believe this, but I just got an email from Mr. Lewis. He wants to meet with all of us tomorrow at noon. Do you think this could be about Gabby? I don't know, but it's the best lead we've got. After the memorial walk, you drop Puck at your house and take Stevie the rest of the way home. Outside her house, you linger on the front porch. I was just thinking if the drug that killed Gabby was an injectable and April's missing syringes out of nowhere, maybe we were wrong to rule Brett out. Maybe not. I just wish we had something solid to work with. The longer it takes to find Gabby's killer, the harder it's gonna be. Not to mention, the creep is still out there. Stevie takes a deep, steady breath and looks at you nervously. I'm kind of doing a thing tonight, self-defense class type of thing. Honestly, with Gabby's killer still on the loose, I haven't exactly felt safe lately, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to learn a couple things. This is actually very smart. Stevie, that's great. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I was kind of hoping you'd come along for moral support more than anything. Though, I'm sure even the notorious Black Stone could use a few pointers. Diamond choice! So pretty much I encourage anyone, regardless of who you are, how old you are, how tall you are, your weight, or whatnot, even your gender. All of that is completely irrelevant in terms of self-defense. Martial arts is a fantastic opportunity that will not just teach you the skills that you need in your life, but also will help you with other things too, right? It doesn't just teach you to karate chop, right? I'm going to be honest with you. It actually will help you with emotional control, being more at peace, knowing thyself, and everything else like that. So if you have not ever invested in martial arts, you should probably look into it. Seriously, it's very solid. Hell yeah, let's go. Need you to calm down, Stevie. Put the karate chop away. That evening, you and Stevie make your way across town to a self-defense class. Did not expect this class to happen in a ballet studio. Well, the concept of self-defense is pretty novel to most people here. I'm sure they had to work with what space they could get. There's nothing wrong with the ballet place either. Stevie's eyes flit across the room, from the bear to the full length of mirrors that line every wall. I'm actually realizing right now this is super dumb. Let's just go get some ice cream. Hang on, this was your idea. Why the sudden change of heart? It's just that now that I'm here, all this feels so juvenile and dumb. There are literally a murder on the loose. You think a couple of roundhouse kicks and hammer strikes are going to protect us? Listen, you would actually be the first person I have talked to who have actually said hammer strikes. I'm impressed, actually. It can't hurt. It's supposed to hurt. That's the whole point. Oh my god, you're oblivious. Stevie, you're gonna regret leaving. And you're also a baby. I know this all seems kind of silly to you right now. Taking a defense class in a children's dance studio? What could possibly be silly about that? But I think you'll be gratified after class is over. Every little bit of practical knowledge helps. It won't turn us into MMA fighters overnight, but it'll give us a boost. I hate to admit it, but you're making a freakishly amount of sense. I've been known to do that. Yes. The instructor walks to the front of the class, and you and Stevie and the other students all spread out. Welcome to Basic Self-Defense. I'll be your instructor tonight. First up, elbow strikes. Stick out your elbow, pivot on the same foot, rotating your hips and throwing your elbow back behind you. And Stevie seamlessly follow the directions in sync with the instructor. Once you get comfortable, pair up with a partner. And Stevie silently pair up, standing beside each other. You're going down. Sounds like a challenge. More like a threat. Alright, now, one of you is going to come up from behind and wrap the other in a bear hug. Dibs on being the bear. Dibs on you being thrown across the floor. Practice doing an elbow strike on your partner's stomach while your arms are pinned. And be careful, we're not trying to hurt each other. You face away from Stevie, preparing for her imminent attack. Suddenly she seizes you tightly from behind, restricting your movement. Oof. Arr, I got you. Give me your money. Seriously? What? I'm trying to set the scene. I'll escape by counterattacking. Your elbow presses roughly against her stomach as you twist your body in her grasp, throwing her off balance. Whoa. You catch Stevie from falling in the nick of time, a smirk hugging at the corner of your lips. I win. Yeah, don't get cocky on me now, Ace. Alright, nice work. Moving on. I'll show you how to break free from your attacker's grip. Your turn to be on the offense. Alright. Are you actually going to put up a fight this time? Try me. Alright, first, begin by facing each other and then grab your partner's wrist. Feels like an excuse to hold hands, but okay. Shh. Alright, now rotate your wrist towards the outside. Yank as hard as possible. The momentum should break you free, or at least loosen their grip. You Stevie stand face to face and engage in a stare down. Bring it on, baby. Follow the instructions. You place a strong grip around Stevie's wrist. She struggles to pull free. Wow. This is harder than it looks. You got this. Yes. An attacker saying you got this. Give motivational support to your victim. What? Let me go! I believe you got this on your own. Is that your attempt at setting the scene? I'm being supportive. Yeah, okay. Well, quit it. It's not like you'll be there to cheer me on in a real-life ambush. Fair enough. Ugh. While you're distracted, Stevie rotates her wrist around and pulls free, proudly smiling at her victory. You did it. You're seriously the worst bad guy I've ever met. I agree. Alright, now the maneuvers I've taught you are helpful in most situations, but remember that the most tried and true method? Dodge, sidestep, run. Get the hell out of there if you can. Don't risk your safety if you don't have to. Sir, yes sir. The instructor throws an exasperated smile Stevie's way. Since you seem to have such a solid grasp of the material, Miss Sun, why don't you demonstrate dodging with your partner? You play the aggressor this time. All eyes are on you as Stevie turns to face you once more. She squares up like she's about to grab you. I'm gonna sidestep. Stevie lunges, you sidestep her attack at the last second, dodging it completely. Nice. Excellent work. The quick thinking will save you in a dangerous situation. Let's just hope I never end up in one. Now, I'd like you all to look at Miss Sun's interaction with her partner as an example. The class goes surprisingly quick after that, with the instructor teaching you a few more moves, and by the time it wraps, you feel confident you've learned some new skills. You and Stevie walk to her car together, enjoying the crisp night air on your sweat-dampened skin. She offers you a sip of water, and you gratefully take it. I don't think I've ever been this sweaty. At least you weren't wearing a flannel. I told you to change. Do I look like I own activewear? You roll your eyes, laughing along with Stevie. After a moment of quiet, she hums contemplatively. All in all, I have to say, that wasn't the most terrible thing in the world. At least now I feel prepared, as long as I'm around no cold-blooded killer is gonna get the better of you. She stops short. Even in the hazy street line, you see a blush rise to her face. I mean, the better of me. Stevie, did you take the class so you could learn how to protect me? No? Listen, and she was literally willing to bounce from the class. Like, no, don't count on this person. Fine, yes, I did. Can you blame me? You do so much risky stuff, sometimes it feels like I could lose you at any second. Stevie, that's sweet, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm well aware that I have a penchant for finding danger, but believe me when I say I'm not intentionally reckless. I don't want you to be constantly worrying about me. I'm not constantly worrying, only semi-constantly. And I know you're not someone who throws themselves into danger without thinking. I figured, since I don't ever plan on leaving your side, I should prepare myself to be your right-hand woman. You pause, just shy of the parking lot, and watch the starlight dance across her face, glittering in her dark eyes. I'm with you, Ace. I've said it once, and I'll say it a million more times. You know, you don't have to. I want to. Whatever it takes to remind you, I'm here for you. In that case, bring it in. You embrace Stevie, and an eye roll. With an eye roll, she squeezes you tightly back. I'm really glad we're hanging out again. Me too. Not to get all sentimental or whatever, 'cause ew, but I missed you. Phoebe slings an arm around your shoulder, marching you towards the parking lot and her car. Well, whatever happens in the future, we'll always have experience to laugh about it when we're old and wrinkly. Honestly, that sounds like a dream. No, it doesn't. Being old and wrinkly sucks! No, I'm kidding. The next day, you and your friends go to visit Mr. Lewis at his apartment. You gather in the hallway outside, bracing yourselves. You ready for this? Some of us more than others, it seems. Tyler brought a fruit topiary. Tyler defensively clutches the bouquet of strawberries, pineapples, and kiwi he brought with him. It's an edible arrangement. My mom said it's a good way to let someone know you're sorry. I think it's nice that Tyler wants to apologize. I just hope Lewis is willing to accept it. The five of you stare down Mr. Lewis's door for a long, silent moment. Then, squaring your shoulders, you knock. A moment later, the door swings open to reveal him on the other side. He surprises you by smiling broadly. Hello, everyone. Come on in. As you take a seat on the couch with your friends, you can't help feeling a sense of bewilderment, and Mr. Lewis stresses around his apartment like nothing's wrong. Tyler places the fruit on the coffee table. We brought you this. How thoughtful. Mr. Lewis, why did you invite us over? Not that we're not grateful, but I think we all assume that you'd never want to see us again. We did almost ruin your life. What I did to help Gabby, Joanna, and you made me look incredibly guilty. I can't fault you for that. If I had just spoken up sooner... Lewis smiles warmly and shakes his head. Oh, look, I didn't invite you here to invoke an apology. I forgive you kids for doing what you only thought was right. I invited you here because when I was being interrogated by one of the cops, they let slip that the drug Gabby overdosed on was capecitabine benzoate. I don't think I heard of that one. It's an experimental prescription drug known to induce mild euphoria. They thought I gave it to her so she could get high. Where would you even get an experimental drug like that? I suppose you'd either need a valid prescription, or more likely, know someone illegally dealing it. Yep. So without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down to the description of the video for a bunch of cool stuff. So, with that being said, sorry about being late. It's been a wild week. Let's just go with that. Let's just go with that. It seriously has been a wild week. A lot's been going on, both in my personal life, as well as with content and a bunch of stuff coming up, and it's just been a while. It's just been a wild while, right? So yeah. With that being said, before we dive into the next thing, stay tuned to the channel. I'll be making a statement here soon about what is all going on in more detail. But without further ado, let's get into what you're probably here for. Joanna's situation, right? So, long story short is, I definitely feel this, right? You know, when you meet the street at 15, you definitely know this. The world is a very cold and hard place. Some of you are very fortunate to not really deal with a lot of, may I say, big issues. I don't want to downplay any issues you might be going through. That is something that I've never wanted to ever do. Ever, and I try really hard not to, right? Like, if someone sits there and goes, I have a hangnail, though, and they're comparing to someone with, like, I lost my arm, you know, it's just, yeah, no, I'm gonna step in. But otherwise, I try really hard not to downplay issues. And a lot of you are very fortunate. We've lived in one of the biggest times of world peace, let me be honest. Yes, there's some small things here or there, but you know, in a long while. So we've raised a couple generations now that have had no issues, right? The only issues is you have some kid at school being like, no, you're ugly or something, you know. And I get that you know, there's a small issue there in and of itself. But remember, school and everything else ends, right? You go out in the world, you start being an adult, you start working a job and whatnot, and quickly then some kid who used to call you some names or whatnot, it just seems so small, doesn't it? You want to actually go back to those problems, don't you? Versus the real adult issues that you're having now. And the thing is, there are still a lot of issues out there for those of you who have been gifted enough to, one, only have your own personal issues that may or may not have been resolved, right? But then all of you who are gifted to not really deal with any issues, there are a lot of things that I could blow your mind on that are going on in this world right now, that we need you. We literally and figuratively need you. So when it comes to issues, please don't just focus on yourselves. Because something that may be affecting someone else, but isn't affecting you, may one day very well affect you. And then you're going to wish someone had been there with you as an additional voice to continue on, right? To help bolster it, to signal boost it. So we need to be there for one another, right? So people who, just let me say this, stick up for one issue, right? And then they go home and they sleep well at night and they're like, yeah, I did great. Please don't just stop at one issue. If we want to truly make this a better world, we have to keep sticking up for one another and staying in there for one another day after day. We literally and figuratively have to. So Joanna's situation, is a perfect prime example for that. You may not think these types of things are still going on in the world. They are. And there's a lot of bigger issues too as well, right? So while this may not directly affect you, like, oh, well, I don't know, this person or whatnot, put yourself in their shoes for just a quick minute. Let's just say for a moment you aren't the way you are, say for instance, straight, and you came out and people disowned you, they threw you out on the street or whatnot. There are no real systems for people like you. None. So think about that. So without further ado, love your beautiful faces. Catch y'all later. Lacona Quinn. Peace out.